Have you ever tried to explain yourself again and again, only to realize the other person never really wanted to understand? You spoke with honesty, you repeated your words, but all they heard was what they wanted to hear. This story is about a man who discovered something powerful, that sometimes silence speaks the truth better than words. Once upon a time, in a quiet village surrounded by green hills and slow-moving rivers, there lived a man named Thomas Gray. Thomas was a lantern maker, a humble craftsman who made lamps that glowed softly in the dark streets of the village. He was gentle, patient, and kind. People respected his work, but not everyone respected him. Across the street lived Mr. Clark, the village tax collector, proud, sharp-tongued, and always suspicious of others. He often accused Thomas of cheating his customers by charging extra coins for his lanterns. "Your light isn't worth the price you ask," he would say loudly in the marketplace. Thomas would smile and try to explain. He would talk about the cost of good glass, the fine oil, the careful hands that built each lamp. But Clark never listened. He only smirked and walked away, leaving Thomas feeling small. Days turned into months. Thomas kept trying, explaining his honesty, defending his name, proving his worth. Yet every time he tried, rumors spread even faster. "Thomas is greedy," someone would whisper. "Thomas hides money in his workshop," another would add. The more he spoke, the more twisted the stories became. At night, sitting near his small fire, Thomas would stare at his lamps flickering in the dark. "Why can't they see the truth?" he whispered. "Why do I have to keep explaining?" One morning, the village square was filled with noise. A traveler had arrived, an old monk passing through the hills. People gathered around him asking for blessings and advice. Thomas, tired and confused, also approached the monk. He waited until the crowd thinned and then spoke quietly. "Sir," Thomas said, "I try to be honest. I never cheat anyone, but no matter how much I explain myself, they twist my words. What should I do to make them understand?" The monk looked at him for a long moment and smiled. "Tell me," he said softly, "if a man decides the sky is green, what color is the sky to him?" Thomas frowned. He would still believe it's green, I suppose. "Then," said the monk, "would your explanations change his eyes?" Thomas shook his head slowly. "No, I guess they wouldn't." The monk placed a gentle hand on his shoulder. "Then stop explaining colors to those who refuse to see. Let your work be your answer. Silence is not weakness, my son. It is strength wrapped in peace." And with that, the monk walked away, leaving Thomas standing there, his heart suddenly quiet, as if someone had just put out a long burning fire inside him. From that day, Thomas changed. He stopped defending himself. When people accused him, he simply smiled. When Mr. Clark mocked him in public, Thomas bowed politely and said nothing. At first, everyone thought he was guilty. "See, he has no words left," Clark shouted. But Thomas kept working calmly and silently. He polished his lanterns with care, lit them each evening, and placed one outside his shop. Night after night, that single lantern burned longer than any other. Travelers began to notice its warm, steady light. They said it made the road feel safer, gentler. Soon, people from nearby towns came to buy his lamps, not because of his words, but because of the quiet glow they carried. One evening, Mr. Clark himself needed a lantern. He came to Thomas's shop, embarrassed but stubborn. He placed 3 coins on the table and said, "I need one for my porch." Thomas simply nodded, handed him a lamp, and said, "It will serve you well." No anger, no defense, just peace. Days later, the villagers saw Clark standing outside his home at dusk, staring at the soft flame of Thomas's lantern. He didn't say it out loud, but something in his face had changed. He finally saw what words could never show. Truth doesn't need to shout. Weeks passed. Thomas's shop glowed brighter than ever. He still spoke kindly, but he never explained himself again. If someone misunderstood him, he let them. If someone doubted him, he smiled. His silence became his protection, and his peace became his greatest wealth. One night, as he placed the lantern outside his door, a young boy asked, "Mr. Thomas, why do your lights shine so beautifully?" Thomas looked at the flame and said, "Because I no longer waste my fire trying to light the darkness inside others. I keep it here where it belongs." The boy smiled, and the lantern flickered warmly against the dark sky. Sometimes the most powerful thing you can say is nothing at all. When people are trapped in their own illusions, silence becomes your greatest strength. You don't have to defend your truth to those who've already made up their minds. You don't have to explain your heart to those who never cared to listen. Because peace isn't found in being understood. It's found in understanding that you no longer need to explain. When you stop chasing validation, you begin to feel something beautiful, freedom. You start living for your own peace, not for someone else's approval. And in that quiet space, life starts to feel lighter, calmer, real. If this story touched your heart, remember there are many more stories like this waiting for you here. So take a moment and subscribe to Wisdom Sky and be part of this journey where every story teaches peace, hope, and self-discovery. Thank you for watching. Until next time, stay kind, stay calm, and keep your inner light glowing.